The nanny cam showed my son standing perfectly still in his crib for 6 hours straight, staring directly at the camera, never once closing his eyes. My wife Sarah installed the camera 3 days ago because she kept hearing him talking at night, having full conversations with someone we couldn't see. That first night, we reviewed the footage. We saw him sit up at exactly 3 a.m., turn his head toward the corner, and smile at absolutely nothing. The second night, he climbed out of his crib, walked to that same corner, and stood there facing the wall for 2 hours without moving a single muscle. On the third night, the camera captured him whispering to the corner for 3 hours straight, his lips moving rapidly but making no sound we could hear on the recording. Sarah insisted we take him to a doctor. During the examination, our son suddenly turned to the pediatrician and said in a voice too deep for a 3-year-old, "I like the tail things."
"She doesn't like you touching me."
The doctor's face went pale. She asked us if anyone else lived in our house, or if anyone had died there before we moved in. We said no. But when we got home, I found the previous owner's contact information and called her. Her voice broke when I mentioned our son talking to corners. She told me her daughter died in that room 7 years ago. Leukemia. She was 3 years old, with blonde curls and green eyes, exactly like my son. She said her daughter spent her final weeks terrified of being alone. She made them promise that someone would always stay with her, even after she was gone. That night, I watched the camera feed live. At exactly 3 a.m., my son sat up, turned toward the corner, and whispered,
"I know you're lonely, but he's not yours."
The corner in the camera feed suddenly grew darker, as if shadows were gathering there, pooling together into something almost solid. My son climbed out of his crib, walked to the corner, and reached his small hand into that impossible darkness. When he pulled it back, another hand was holding his, pale and thin and adult-sized. The hand gently pulled my son closer. In the camera's grainy footage, I saw him wrap his arms around nothing, returning an embrace I couldn't see but knew was there. That's when I understood. She wasn't haunting him. She was protecting him from something else, something that had been watching from the corner long before we ever moved in. Because behind my son in that footage, in the opposite corner I'd never noticed before, something else was standing perfectly still, and it had been there every single night. Follow us for more.